Hello, this is Greg Allison of Green Greg's coming to you on the morning, the wee hours, about 2:30 a.m. on Monday, the 16th of November. The story that you're going to remember. Yeah, sometimes it takes me time to get these things out. Don't really have time to do these things sometimes, but this is important because I got to ask you a question, a very vital question. Will you be upset by the Great Reset? Ah, a plan to change the world is about to be unfurled. And I got to ask, will a meeting in Davos, Switzerland take you from your land? Listen to what I'm about to say about a meeting coming up in May. What I'm talking about here is the World Economic Forum. They normally meet in January in Davos, Switzerland. However, they delayed it because until May because of the bug going around. Or was it to let the U.S. election settle down? Oh, I don't know. But what I got to say is this. The Global 2021 World Economic Forum meeting will be far different than any they've had to date. And they started in 1971, by the way. Because this meeting, the World Economic Forum, along with the UN, along with the International Monetary Fund, along with numerous globalist organizations and powerful individuals, they have pledged that this 2021 World Economic Forum will be used to introduce via a vast network of connected big tech corporations, online activist organizations, and other strong individuals, local and national compliant governments, to announce their big plan which they call the Great Reset. Yes, that is their intention. Is all of this was put together. All this is aimed to one thing: the Great Reset. Maybe the entire history of the World Economic Forum has been set up for the Great Reset. Anyway, it's coming. That is what they're focusing all that on. All these organizations, all this money, all these outfits. UN, International Monetary Fund, over 1,000 corporations are backing the International Monetary Fund. I'm going to show you that in a little bit. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is the commitment they made, the World Economic Forum. And they're already saying, and it's on I'll show you on their website. They're using the fear and the panic about the bug going around to reset all the economies and laws and establish a whole new form of capitalism focused on net zero emissions. The bug going around, net zero emissions. Yeah, they've tied these together very tightly, actually. It's really strange, right? But see, they're going to use the tools of the social control that was established and beginning to be invoked under this bug deal in their zero emission bill, along with other things. So they're using the tools of the bug to sweep carbon under the rug. Sounds kind of snug as a bug in a rug, right? But it's a bit more nefarious than that, because it could have irreversible and dire consequences for regular citizens. Who will profit? Well, the richest of the rich. Oh yeah, they're going to profit, and maybe the poorest of the poor might, at least initially, until it's all settled down. I'm going to show you some more about this. We're going to get into this: who profits and why they profit, and why people back something stuff. Right? A lot of questions about that. And I'm going to take you through these websites. I'm going to show you this stuff. I'm going to show you their stuff, their sites, and other sites associated with this, so you can see what this is. I'm going to even show you a little bit of their video. We're going to look at it. We're going to kind of kick it around a bit. That all sounds nice and sweet. Oh, hey, good. All good fly bait's going to taste sweet on the surface. So the Great Reset is being widely advertised across Europe right now. Not so much in the United States. I wonder why. And some other places too. But what they're proposing to do is replace the mom and pop shops, the small businesses, with the big businesses, the big corporations. Imagine that. The big international, big tech corporations. The ones that are, have been getting more of the market share lately. Yeah, they want it all. But they're also planning to kind of more or less replace shareholders because their whole motto is, "Hey, I own nothing." They really mean that. And I'm going to show you that in more than one place. They're really emphasizing that's like one of their number one priorities, and they repeat that, and even listed as number one. Interesting. So yeah, they want to replace shareholders with stakeholders, like left-wing politicians. That's kind of what they're talking about. And these people are pushing climate change agendas. Okay. But the backers claim that we can never return to the days before that certain bug broke out. That we just passed this. We can't ever go back to the days before. Everything's got to be tightly controlled now because of that and carbon and this and that and that and the other. Just okay, this will begin to sound like something out of Saul Alinsky, right? Or maybe Rahm Emanuel's "Never Let a Good Crisis Go to Waste." Oh, he stole that from what's his name from Britain? Churchill. Thank you. Appreciate you reminding me. Oh, Greg Allison gets brain lock on occasion. So the World Economic Forum was founded by Klaus Schwab. And Klaus Schwab, when he talks, he's born in 1938. He's 82-year-old. He sounds a lot like my old friend Konrad Klaus Dannenberg when he talks. Very much like an old German gentleman. I would give Konrad Klaus Dannenberg a whole lot more credit for being a gentleman than this individual. He sounds nice. He sounds, kind of like, some of the old Rothschild old guys. They all sound nice when you hear them talk, but what's behind them. So, yeah, I think a lot of people sound nice and sweet on top, and they're kicking the heck out of you under the table. Anyway, it's got, of course, the UN, the International Monetary Fund, and Prince Charles, the next in line to be the monarch, the King of England, and which has a vast commonwealth of nations under his purview in some fashion or another, which supposedly they own all that land, really and truly, in all these countries, Canada, Australia. Prince Charles is a huge backer of this. He is very much in the forefront of it. So they it's backed by 1,000 corporations, international corporations that are worth over like I think it could be like $5 billion each, typically. And Xi Jinping attended in 2017, and in fact, in 2018, Indian Prime Minister Modi was the plenary speaker for the World Economic Forum. So they have a lot of sway in this world. A lot of key people, a lot of key players in the world are intimately involved in this organization. Like I said, Xi Jinping, yeah, him. The one I talk so kindly about so often, the one I admire so much in so many of my videos. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into looking at some of their news. Now, yeah, prospects of this are pretty frightening. It's pretty dire. But I do have one good news. One item of good news. Guess what? We have a special. I knew he was coming up with this. $100 off a 4-week supply of 25-year lasting food. And this is super lightweight stuff here. This is 2 weeks. You get 2 buckets like this, and it's 3 meals a day, 2,000 calories a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You buy this, and you'll be a winner. And let's share some stuff here. Let's go to the internet. Yeah, there we go. We'll see that here in a second. Bam! Real fast here. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, we got a special here, and they got a timer on it. So I think you need to jump fast if you want to get it at this price, because it looks like they're on a countdown to price increases. What it looks like. That's what it's suggesting here. Limited time special pricing. And my gosh, guys, hey, for a whole 4 weeks of food for an individual that lasts 25 years. And this is not MREs. This is real food. It's freeze dried. All right. Oh yeah, and you can get other prepper supplies here too, which you may want with all this thing coming up before you. Yeah. Just go up here and click on My Patriot Supply, and that'll take you into getting all kinds of other good prepping supplies and other food options too. So I'm not going to go into that right now because I want to get on. We got a lot to talk about here. So bam, here's where we're going to start at. We're going to come back to this in a minute. This is their ultimate dream right here. And who's this from? The World Economic Forum. Okay. And what it says here. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing. Have no privacy, and life has never been better. Really? I'm going to come back in another video on political stuff and talk about this no privacy thing and the real fallacy of that. My friends, they're wanting to attack your freedoms, your liberties, your rights, your right to own property, your right to privacy. You know, a lot of our amendments are protecting these things and more. They want to tell you, know, they want to strip you of your rights up one side and down the other in this forum. So we're going to go into that. I mean, this sounds wonderful in some ways. There, beautiful picture. You know, beautiful pictures don't make for a beautiful life, not necessarily. You know what? You see very few people there. Maybe that's the way they want it. You know, oh, that's empty. Lots of birds. So let's find out more about this World Economic Forum. Okay, the organization, see here, they've got offices in New York, Beijing, and Tokyo, but they're headquartered in Davos. Well, it says Colonia. Okay, but they're meeting regular in Davos. So, boom, 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 boom. And you can see they are quite involved. You see Klaus Schwab is the founder. This gent right there. I said he's 82-year-old. He's still running an organization, and he is like I say, he sounds a lot like Conrad Dannenberg, but I think he's very different in most ways. Now, hey, it's got the likes from Jack Ma, you know, who founded Alibaba, one of the co-founders, one of the richest men from China, considered the 26th most powerful man in the world by Forbes too. Yo-Yo Ma, yeah, the cellist. Quite a bit of difference from Jack Ma to Yo-Yo Ma. Kind of funny they're both in here together. And the guys like David Rubenstein, who is one time headed up this Carlyle group, as you can see below. Also headed up the New York Council of Foreign Relations, the Council of Foreign Relations, a CFR. Yeah, I think you might have heard of that organization before. And also the Carlyle group. You know, both organizations have been cited in a lot of those theories that are considered. Yeah, okay. That kind of stuff. That's right. Think about it. Look it up. Check it out. The queen, this queen here of the Yashimite Kingdom of Jordan. Holy smoke. You know, those Jordanian kings always get a beautiful queen. Wow. To be a king of Jordan. Just kidding. Or not. But guys, yeah, be careful, be careful. I'll laugh because I like to, you know, make it a live action role playing game, right? But this is serious. It is very, very, very serious. Now, see the membership. Check out what I said. 1,000 member companies. Typically, global enterprises with more than $5 billion in turnover, varied by industry and region. Enterprises rank among the top corporations within their industry and in our country, and play a leading role in shaping the future of their industry and our region. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. Mission fee is $19,000 per person. Hey, well, yeah, I might could join, but I have to sacrifice a bunch of stuff. Why would I want to do that? Yee. Hey, maybe you could join. You want to join? But anyway, so you can see that there's a lot in here, but we're not going to stay on this site. We're going to move on. You can go, you can find this on Wikipedia. This is the Wikipedia page, my friends. Bam. Wikipedia. So if my Zoom will let me, I'll advance to the next tab, but it's don't want to let me. Here we go. Bam. Here is their Great Reset. So they got this article here, this whole website dedicated to the Great Reset. And it's got a lot of connections to it and articles and other things. And hey, look, they got a way of making it all sound nice and pretty, beautiful. What year were they focusing on over here? Welcome to 2030.
Why are they picking 2030? What is it about that year? You know, there used to be something over here by this organization. They used to have a certain agenda. They used to cite. Now they call it the Sustainable Development Agenda. But look, 2020 needs to usher in a decade of ambitious action. 2020 being the usher year. Wow, this year's been a you know what burger, right? Is that what this means for the rest of the decade? It is the usher year, a decade of ambitious action to deliver goals by what year? Highly suspicious. All these goals sound good. No poverty, no hunger. Is that really what we're going to have? Well, if you got less people, you might have no poverty, no hunger. But that don't have to be the way that's worked out. But that might be how they want to get it out. Don't know. Don't know. But there's other things out there that makes you wonder. So we're going to. This is what the World Economic Forum plays the world. So I hope they won't mind us playing it. We're allowed to even do some copyright stuff. It's only 1 minute and 32 seconds, provided that we narrate it. So it's not, I'm just going to play it. We're going to narrate and talk about it as journalistically here. 8 predictions for the world 2030. It makes it sound like because it's from them that they're taking credit for this, all these. Not all of them. The first, look at what's first. Look at what's number 1. You will own nothing and be happy. What? You'll own nothing and be happy. Yeah, see this guy smiling, he's gonna smile. So if you own nothing, you get a smile. Whoa, what did I say over here? Welcome to 2030. I own nothing and have no privacy. And life has never been better. Well, they left that no privacy part out on this one. See, there's a lot of stuff they say and they leave certain things out. And some of the writings say even more. Some of the individuals that have been involved with this, when they're out talking about it and telling you what it really, really is, that's what's scary. Hold it. Just listen to Prince Charles if you want your pants scared off. Whatever you want, you'll rent. You'll rent it because you're going to own nothing. But it'll be delivered by a drone. Is your house going to be delivered by a drone? Your apartment, you won't have a house, you'll have an apartment. An ISO shipping container, rack and stack by the railroad track, just down the road from the smokestack. Just down the track from the smokestack. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, they've been talking about those ISO shipping container homes and by the railroad tracks, and everybody need to live in the cities by the railroad tracks. Yeah, by the railroad tracks. But get this. So you own nothing. Does that mean you don't even own your clothes? Well, technically, yes. If you own nothing, you'd rent your clothes, everything. I have seen articles philosophizing about the great benefits it would be if we had a society in which you literally own nothing. You had no permanent relationships. You just hung out. You rented. You lived in an apartment. You shared it with other people. You had a bed. You didn't own anything. You had a common area, kitchen, living room, and you'd move from place to place. And, I guess you don't even have a marriage. How do you raise kids? You state raise the kids? How do the kids get the love, the nurturing they need for a good psychological basis? Maybe they don't want people that way. They don't want people with a good psychological basis. Maybe you don't control people like that. Families give you stability. They give you nurturing, make you strong. But people are usually highly disturbed when they don't have that nurturing and love growing up. The kids that don't have that are severely damaged, basically. Kids need that. It's like giving a plant the nutrients and the water, the sunlight it needs to grow. Love is a key nutrient to a child. And how are they going to get that at the same level in the state as opposed to what a parent would give a child or parents? That's why parents need to stick together. If they can't live, if they can't be married, they need to at least work together for the benefit of their kids. The U.S. won't be the world's leading superpower. Well, this is their prophecy? Or are they intending to make this the case? There we are. That's New York City. Look at the Chrysler building there. we still got dominance by a handful of countries. So you still have a world with dominant powers. Oh yeah, and dominant economic interest. Oh yeah, they're not going to give up their power at the top, not the elite. Okay, now see, this is what bugs me here. They're talking, they throw other things in here like this. Okay, like science and technology, it and racing toward this kind of technology without the World Economic Forum. This is already in development. If it's going to happen, it will happen with or without the World Economic Forum. And there's a couple of things I'd say in here. So they might claim this as prediction, but it make it sound like it's part of the package still, the Great Reset. This has nothing to do with the Great Reset. So they're trying to make it sound like this is going to be a great utopian future just because we're going to hit the big reset button. Right. Okay, maybe you should eat less meat, but what is it their right to tell you what to eat? See how much control they're talking about having? This is just an occasion, you know, oh, it's good for your health. But yeah, but should they mandate what you eat? Yeah. Yeah, they're talking. If you've read the kind of plans and the general plans they're saying, they've said them often that it's going to change every aspect of your life, control every aspect of your life, how you live, how you work, how you think, basically. Yeah, maybe they'll jack you in just to make sure. Oh yeah, that jack technology is on the way, right? Who's developing that? Mr. Musk? But that's just to compete with AI. Well, yeah, a billion people displaced by climate change. Yeah, that's those glaciers coming down. Once the ice age gets reinitiated, right? Burn more coal. You know, the funny thing is, I've got the concepts that are the most carbon neutral, zero footprint in the world. These guys would love it. Supposedly, except for it makes you independent. That part they wouldn't like. I don't think. Let's see if find some way to staple you into them. They don't want you to be independent. That's the whole drive of this. This system is totalitarian Nazi system that they're trying to set up, a global totalitarian Nazi system. To make it sound good, oh yeah, so they're going to fix the environment. They're telling you we're going to fix the environment. We're going to make sure nobody's poor, nobody's hungry. You don't have to own anything. So they're trying to reset the economy toward what they want. Okay, you know what? This is Elon Musk doing everything he can to get us there with or without them. He's already on this. This isn't due to them. That's not a Musk system they're showing landing there anyway. It looks more like something NASA would come up with. A little lander stage. You know, Musk is talking about using a starship. That's not a starship. Or maybe that's a Bezos system. Okay, yeah, I can see it. It might be a Blue Origin or something of European origin. Scientists will have worked out how to keep you healthy in space. Well, now, yeah, give you a little artificial gravity and some good radiation shielding. I say that's pure speculation right there. All right, Western values will have been tested to the breaking point. Now, they're not actually saying what that means. Does that mean they're going to change them, that Western values aren't good? This is just teaser. It's a teaser. What are they teasing you with here? Well, if they're going to take away your right to choose what you eat, if they're going to take away your property, well, guess what? They're saying that our privacy, our values that we have in our society are no good. And values of like Eastern societies, like China, yeah, that's the way to go. At least that's what David Rockefeller was telling us. Yeah, David Rockefeller just extolled the CCP's PLA China, People's PLA is People's Liberation Army, People's Republic of China, PRC. You know, yeah, I prefer the ROC, Republic of China, Taiwan. That's the only good thing they said in here. But I think they got to, if they want to sweep all our values away, they must have a whole different thing in mind here. Checks and balances that underpin our democracies must not be forgotten, because we really have republics. So must not be forgotten. Maybe they keep them an old song like old times there, or not forgotten. Look away, look away. Look, here it is. It's on the history book. Here it was. Yeah, we hadn't forgotten them. Oh, they were terrible. We don't want these no more. I don't know. Well, they just ain't whistling Dixie, are they? Beats me. I don't know what they mean by this. It sounds good. Like I say, all of it sounds good on the surface. You just got to dig into it to find out what it really is. Like, comment, share. Hey, you do that with my video. Yeah, like, comment, share. I can use that. You know what? My algorithms have been beating the crap out of me lately. Pardon my Anglo-Saxon. I can use some help, guys. I've been losing subscribers these past few days, so send my stuff around. If you like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Bang the notification bell and click off. Sometimes the words are hitting my mouth faster than my tongue can operate, and then I get my tongue tangled. All right. So you know how to do that, and click all the notifications and check back occasionally to make sure you're actually getting the notifications. So, all right, that's enough of that video. And I'm gonna have to squeeze this down a little bit so I can get past the Zoom thing here. Now, here's what's interesting. So, who's promoting this? It said 1,000 of the world's most powerful corporations, typically $5 billion or more. Why is it? And that the richest men in the world are behind things like this, and socialism, even communism in the United States. Why are what they call communism, much like what China calls communism, which I've made the case is not communism. I've made the case that it's something else entirely different, and I went to Wikipedia and went down the sources from one side to the other. Which one do you think it is? After which they changed the tabular format on Wikipedia. I wonder if somebody fed that back to them. So yeah, you got to dig a little bit more to find information, but you know what I'm talking about. So who is it? Why is it that the richest of the rich promote stuff like this? Think about this. There's an arrow in our society. If you don't buy what I'm saying, listen to this. There's an arrow, a force and function in our society that takes place at the city level, takes place at the state level, and the federal level, where more and more and more regulation falls on the smaller guys, and they can't bear it. The bigger companies can bear it because it's just a little bit of small percentage of their overhead because they got more volume of business. So they get to handle the same paperwork spread across a much bigger business base. So for the bigger corporations, it's nothing. To them, it's insurance to give them more market share. So the big companies push for these things. They push for tons and tons and tons of certifications and things that the small single guy can't bear. If you're the lone plumber, the lone electrician that's been working on your own for years and years and years, and you're up. I know some of these guys are up there, and a lot of them they're quitting. They're going out of business. They're starting to work for the bigger corporations because they can't afford the certifications. One guy told me, one electrician told me that he had to do like 20 different certifications. That these things cost a lot of money for each and every certification, maybe thousands of dollars, and lots of time to study and test and this and that and this and that and this and that. It's murder. It's a showstopper. It kills businesses, small businesses. What do you get? That guy that ran a small business, he was the expert. This was the artisan, the craftsman, the one that knew how to come out to fix your HVAC, the one that knew that you just had a certain solenoid valve that went bad, and if you tapped it a few times or put a new solenoid in there, boom, everything would work. And he charged you, $30 an hour, maybe $50 an hour. Now you get a shop charging you $90 to $100 or more an hour. Some snot-nosed kid comes around, and all he can think of, we got to replace this whole system. That's going to be $10,000. $100 repair versus $10,000 repair or $5,000 repair. That's what we're talking about. That's what you get. They tell you you're getting more safety, but I've seen these kids out working, and they've committed all kind of egregious things, because they don't have the experience base. So you don't get the safety and you spend tons more money. You're underserved, and that small guy got put out of business. This is what you're going to get overall. You know, all these bills passed out of Congress, every time something goes through Congress, the legislation, the name of the legislation is always exactly opposite to what it really is. You just turn it around 180 degrees, and then you'll know what it's all about. That's the way it works. You really, the food safety bill. The food safety bills have been nothing about food safety. Again, they've been regulating the farmers and pushing the farmers out of business by throwing more and more and more practice upon them, because they claim all these safety violations. But most of that stuff comes from the big giant farms anyway, where they have feedlots and fecal matter everywhere, because they just have all the animals jam packed in. But those are the ones that survive. So what you go do is you squeeze out the guy who had a cow running around on the pasture on a green and happy cow, giving good, nice milk, clean milk, to a dairy farm that smells worse than a pig pen, where all the cows are in utter deep in their you know what, and they have to inject them full of antibiotics and hormones and all kind of stuff just to keep them getting sick and dropping over, and doing the funky chicken. So that's what, well, they probably couldn't fall over and do the funky chicken. All they do is dive, lean over against the one next to them, or just slump down and drown in the mess that they're, it's almost up to their bellies. That's absurd. That's what it's gone to. That's what you're getting, and they're calling that food safety. Jeez, no, it's not safety. And another thing is, you got the regulatory agencies in bed with the regulatees, and they have revolving doors around them. That's what happens as you get bigger and bigger corporations. So the regulatory agencies serve the companies they're supposed to be regulating instead of the public. And you get more and more of this as the companies get bigger and bigger and bigger. See, that didn't happen with all small farms, but that's what's happened today. And so the whole system is corrupt through and through, completely corrupt. And it's and it grows like a cancer. It metastasizes in our society, and it grows and grows and grows and gets less efficient and nasty and corrupt. And it grows into what's known as the deep state. It becomes part of that. And you know what? Those three-letter agencies should just be abolished. They serve you no good. They serve you the opposite, the absolute opposite. Small farmers, are going to be in grave trouble with the stuff they got coming down the road. And by the way, the big companies, these big billionaires I just showed you, guess what? They're coming up with robotic food farms for in the big cities. It sounds great at first, but what they're planning to do, and they're going to have like robotic delivery of these things. Yeah, Jeff Bezos is already working on that. Put you out of business, my friends. I've had some of you say, I know I kind of warned some of you about this stuff, and y'all say, oh, no, it ain't going to happen. Dude, it's already underway. You better just get ready. They want to take you away from your farm, and we can stop that, but we've got to have our eyes wide open. But here we are. Look at this. This is what I'm showing you. U.S. billionaires' wealth. This is whose wealth is growing. By the things that would cause the shutdown, squeezed a lot of small businesses in the middle out, a lot of restaurants, a lot of small businesses, retailers, and everything else. Everybody's ordering everything through mail order. How does this guy make all the money? Is it through his, he's developing all that stuff? The only one who's might be the hero in this picture of three is this guy. Well, he's not perfect. He's a slave driver for his people and don't pay him. So people go in his companies, they punch their ticket and they move on and make more money somewhere else. He does have a great resource base for building experience, because he does build a lot of stuff, and he makes stuff and flies stuff, and he's revolutionized the space launch industry completely. Chuck it upside down. That's a good thing. And he also doesn't like any of these two guys. They probably don't like him. But he is, to combat AI, this guy is come up with Neuralace. But Neuralace is scary in its own right, unless you have some ironclad way to keep anybody from having a back door in the system, like all of his systems do. Everything, all the Microsoft stuff, what's it got? Major back doors so people can get into it. Hackers. Look at that expression. Now, actually, I do like his concept for space development better than his. But he's doing stuff, and he's just thinking maybe he's just using that as an excuse to make his money. But yeah. But see, what I would like to see is mom and pop making the money clearly and having liberty. and self-reliance. See, that's what I'm talking about. Self-sovereignty, liberty, self-reliance. They won't take all away from it, because when you are in a world where you own nothing, you have nothing, you're totally reliant upon either a big corporation or the state or both. Do you want to be totally reliant on these guys? Totally reliant on this guy? Or any of these three guys I just showed you the pictures of? Do you want to be totally reliant on these guys and the government? And this government being some new one world economic Nazi nation? The big totalitarian state? Is that what you want to be totally reliant on? Well, that's where they're leading you. And if you don't follow them, you won't get to eat. Because they're going to have all this stuff blocked in with blockchain, Bitcoin type currencies. Everything you do will be mapped that way. Yeah. Yeah, the world's billionaires did extremely well. See, they like this kind of stuff. Oh, look at this guy smiling. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're happy. They're happy. See them smiling? Oh, yeah, happy. When everybody else is crying, they're smiling. You know, the richest always make a lot of money in these catastrophes. So, you know, you got to wonder, you know, about things like this. Are they wanting stuff like this? You know, where the populations drop, you know, here we are at 326 million as of 2017, and the projection for 2025 by these guys are we are way down. How does this happen? See, the question is this. Maybe this is the answer. The question is, how do you get a world from where we are today? Well, still a lot of people having a lot of property, land, homes, houses, the American dream, with bang bangs hiding in the corner of their closet in the house or in their drawer by the dresser, to this. How do you do this? And, you know, this year's over, so we're really talking 9 years. How do you do this in 9 years? Get from where we are today to this? It's not going to be done easily. You need some catastrophes to get there. Don't let a good catastrophe go to waste. And they're trying to say we've already got one. I don't think this one is in all by itself sufficient. Although there is talk that probably the leading contender to be the national science director under a Biden administration is saying we need to lock the country down for 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, the whole nation, tight lockdown. Where's the president have the authority to do that? Lock the whole nation down? I don't see that kind of authority in the Constitution. But believe you me, they won't stop them. So interesting, very interesting. So how do you get to this? I own nothing, have no privacy. How do you give up all your liberties in 9 years, all your properties in 9 years, all your shares in 9 years? You give up the clothes on your back. How far does this go? What is it? What's going to happen to get you there? Well, they must have already thought this out. And maybe this is some of the stuff they hold in some of the private meetings of some of these big organizations. I don't know. Speculation here. Not conspiracy, just speculation. I don't know. But here's what I'm telling you. They got this up here. This is not speculation. This is their goal. And they got a lot of the most powerful people in the world behind this. The UN, many governments, many corporations, the most powerful corporations, the biggest corporations, the ones that are growing the fastest, not the ones that are on the decline. They are behind this, lock, stock, and barrel. This is what we're up against. I do not find this acceptable to me. And I would imagine that there are tens of millions of Americans who would agree with me wholeheartedly. There's also tens of millions who would violently disagree with me. Great, this is how we got to do it. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do it. There's no way around it. Blah, 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 blah. And they won't be quiet about it for 1 second. And they're going to attack me endlessly for saying that I don't like this. I don't like it when you come after this. I swore an oath to defend this against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Swore an oath. You don't get here without breaking that, or having some major catastrophic event or events. But 2020 is supposed to be the inaugural year, or what was that words over here? Yeah, on the UN site. So yeah, 2020 has certainly been a burger year. So maybe it is the run up for all these things. What do I got here? Oh yeah. So Greg, they don't mean that. This Deagle stuff is crazy. This is crazy talk. Well, they claim they got this from the CIA and other sources. That's what they claim. I don't know. Look, this is an aerospace trade website. Look here, what they're talking about: combat aircraft, missiles. This is mainly an aviation trade magazine online. Submarines, various defense stuff. They talk about equipment, countries, reports, news. See, Sunday, China hits moving target vessel in the South China. Oh, that's interesting. India's missile system shoots down aircraft at medium range altitude. Yeah, this isn't got. They have interesting news up here on their top site, stuff you don't normally find other work buys. They do dig. They do the research. So this website, aside from that, has stuff I just shown you. Always has interesting data in it. So how in the world do they marry those two things up? Interesting. How and why do they marry those two things up? Why does a site dedicated to this kind of stuff show you the other kind of stuff? Highly strange, highly interesting. And then we have these things here. Why are these things put up? Who paid the money to put this stuff up? It just so happens that, look at this top goal here. Maintain humanity under 500 million. In perpetual balance with nature. Now, a lot of these things here sound really good. Especially like avoid petty laws and useless officials. Well, hey, that's beautiful. We could use that today. I think we're right shy of that today. But you know what? See, the problem here is that it's this top one. What's the number one? How do you get there? You might say, well, Gray, this is crazy talk. Nobody wants that. Look, guys, Prince Charles, his dad, used to say he wanted to be reincarnated as a virus and come back to wipe out most of humanity. Prince Charles talks about this kind of stuff. So does lots of rich people and powerful people in the world today. People here in America and other places. There's Warren Buffett's, Ted Turner, Mr. Gates, Oprah Winfrey. Quite a few have been together on this stuff. So that's a bit concerning, Greg, can't possibly be. Well, believe what you will or won't. But 500 million out of what's the world's population? The best place to find the latest world population is the Worldometer. They have a population. Worldometer.info.world population. You see that? That's the best place to go. So look at that. That's where we're at right now. 7 billion. Almost 8 billion. Almost 8 billion people in the world hidden there. So if we went from 8 billion to half of a billion, that means only one out of every 16 people get to live. Okay, we ain't quite 8 billion. So what if 1 out of every 15 people get to live? That means 14 out of 15 got to go. So if you get a room of 30 people in there, only a couple of you get to survive. Like conventional classroom, everybody else has got to go bye-bye. It's kind of like that movie, series, The Avengers. What was it? Series that were Kronos or whatever his name was. What was his name? I forget these bad guys in cartoon movies. But anyway, he was decided he had to wipe out half the population of the universe. See, I think that's part of this. This is trying to get their message out in a different way. I left that theory mad, especially when I saw that was their philosophy, and he won in the end. Now they're supposedly saying that's not over, and Thor bring it back and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Ask him, but that's just, entertainment, supposedly some sick entertainment from Hollywood, you know. So Marvel Comics dropped off my list of any interest. I never was greatly interested in them, but I got mad at them after that. I mean, just furious. I left that theater mad as fire over that. Just mad as fire, because the reason wasn't the story itself. It was what they were promoting. They were promoting by leaving that story there. It was like they were really promoting that. That was the impression I got. Maybe I'm wrong, but that was the impression I got. It made me mad, made me furious. But they were just talking about taking half the people. They're not, maybe suddenly half everybody's gone, 1 out of 2 of them gone. Well, now multiply that by 8 or by 16. And then look where you're at. Yeah, a lot more. Very few left. Think about your family now in comparison to that. Oh, well, we're not going to follow it because we're on the right side. Really? You have a ticket to the deep underground bases for when it hits the fan? No. I know one guy that might. The guy I actually hired once. He now works for Virgin Galactic. His job is to make one of the billionaires look good. So he might be in the club. He certainly thinks he is. I would imagine. Whether he really is or not, I don't know. That was what chance to do. I don't know what name his name. Some of you'll know who I'm talking about. He once introduced me as a superstar in a conference. So, but yeah, I ain't got anything against him. He's just a little bit on the liberal side. As are many of my friends. Like I said, I ain't got anything against him. I used to be far left of that once upon a time. I just learned better when I grew up. Far left of that once upon a time when I was in high school. All right, there's the world population. You want to get from that to that? Yeah. Well, you know what? You don't have to. The good news is you don't have to. Bam! I had this concept for habitat, a home you can make a living out of and live out of. That you can grow all your food in this, almost all the food you'd need. This is based on the size of the lot grown by the Davos family of Pasadena, California, the Davos family. And they own 1/10 of an acre, grow all the food that they eat except for grain products. And they actually sell from their 1/10 of an acre in their backyard, and they make a living from it. And they supported 4 adults until the dad, Jules Davos, died. Rest his soul. Great man. Thought the world of him. He was inspirational. The whole family is inspirational. I've been out to meet him twice. Once when Mr. Davos was still alive, Jules, and today, I've been out and seen his, last year, a little less than a year ago, Justin, Anise, and Jourdain, the surviving children of them. They're all adults, but they had 4 adults living and making a living off of 1/10 of an acre of land, and the 3 that are left continue that tradition. And they're the most happy, well-adjusted people here. So they live simple, but we could do better than that. We can recycle more. My concept is to take all that and grow on top of the roof of the home, put it all in one package like an Earthship on steroids. This is my universal habitat concept. And you could put, if you scale everything to this scale, you could put the whole population of the world that the UN projects to have at the end of this century, which they say after that will start to drop off. Because I guess they think it'd be like America, where in the Western nations, where our population is declining. That's what they would claim. Now, you will get to that standard of living in these homes like almost immediately. I don't care where you're at. It don't take much to build these, and the footprint's 0. I'm going to show you more about this in the future, but suffice it to say, you're making a living out of and growing your food out of the same home. And you can have your own little workshops down here, industrial area, whatever you want. 3D printers, worm farms, mushroom farms, a bar, garage, workshop, loom, lathe, milling machines, whatever you want in here. This is your own little man cave, woman cave, but you're growing this right here, and this surface on top gives you your 1/10 of an acre. I added to it even a little bit more growing room. Greenhouse roof is optional and notional because it depends on where you're at and how you want to configure it. But definitely have that. You could produce all the power you need out here. You won't need pipelines, rail lines. You won't need as much. Since people are living out of their homes and grow most of their food and producing all their stuff there, there won't be as much need for shipping of goods and materials and driving to work. And you can work like I am from my home office today. as most people have. The only good advantage of this bug is it's taught us that we don't need office complexes, that we can work out of home. So we can vastly reduce our need for infrastructure in our society. You could eliminate it almost, except you still want some roads, but not, you won't need the roads we have today. You will not need the roads that we have today. You will not need the office buildings that we have today. You will need less stuff in this world than what we have today. Hey, out of the lines in North America alone, you can feed 2 billion people, following the Davos example, because we got 42 to 47 million acres of lawns in North America. So you can feed 2 billion people from our lawns alone. And this house is built basically out of the materials upon which you built it from, raised it up from. We're talking sandbag or 3D printed walls. Just need some things in there to give them a little support. Maybe some timbers, some steel, some stiff fiberglass, and you can build this habitat even on Mars or Venus. See me on galactic graves. Yeah, this is my habitat. This is that habitat scaled up a little bit on Mars. Yes, this is my concept rendered. You can see it's green Greg. Yeah, this is called Greg's habitat. It's an sim on Kitely. Work anywhere. That's the whole point. And this is my presentation of it on Rex's show, Leap Project. Bam, me in this. We've gone long here. I just want to say that we can have a bright, wonderful, beautiful future. And we can preserve liberty. We can live in harmony with our environment, with our fellow man, and have liberty. We've got to overcome these governments and organizations that pit us against each other, or that want to put us under their control, under their boot, under their regimes. We should live free and independent. We should be able to make our own choices. But when you have choices like that home, I show it as a utilitarian type concept, but if you take the Earthship homes out of Taos, New Mexico, they're beautiful. They're works of art, each and every one. And that's exactly how these homes should be built. Every one should be a work of art, of love. And inside of it, you're going to have greenery. You have a nature bath just in your own home. And psychologically, you'll be far better adjusted. Psychologically, you'll know you're able to be self-sufficient. You're not going to have to require things, that you're set. That makes it hard for anybody to want to pitch you against somebody else and combat or anything, because you're set and they're set too. They're not going to mess with you either. If we get a world like this, it will change everything so dramatically, as opposed to a world where you have nothing. You're totally dependent on whatever they want to do. And when and if they're monitoring you, especially with new blockchain technology and some of these patents that are out there, like the ones Microsoft are putting out, where they monitor your emotions and everything. Wow, if you don't do exactly what they want, you don't eat. You don't have nothing. You exist. China already has a social credit system. Imagine that on steroids, where you're monitored by blockchain and you jacked up with the neural lace. I'm a robot. It'll be a long time before it gets to that level, but still, we get just a level where the Chinese have it today, with a social credit system. Yeah, I said it'd be a long time before we get to that level. Sure. Elon Musk was making pigs happy. I think that's what the snacks they gave him, instead of the stuff he put in his head. That's the pigs are only happy when we're feeding them. Yeah. When the pigs can talk and tell you how they really feel, you might listen then. The idea of somebody just sticking a bunch of fibers right into your neurons, pulling them out and putting in a new set. When you get a revision 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, that's a lot of stabbing going on around your neural net. I don't know, thousands of little wires sticking in my head, whatever. Yeah, okay, the nerves do float in a little bath, but holy smoke, I think it's like frog gigging. Something we used to do around here. We go gigging for frogs. Sooner or later, you're going to stick one. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I know why you come up with that idea. Originally, I was thinking along the same lines. Well, machines aren't going to be like Ray Kurzweil. Machines aren't going to take us over. They're our tools. They work for us, and eventually we'll keep the technology going internally to ourselves. That we'll keep up with them. We'll stay ahead of machines at all times. But then we got to be a machine in part two to do that. No, we can be a natural. We can still be natural. Look, guys, you can have your own economy, live in these kind of homes. You can be self-sufficient. You can have everything you need and want. Everything. You can live a lifestyle commensurate to what we live in this country, or something like that. Just anything close to that, even. Don't have to be that. They don't have to be that. Give me your homestead. Just any homestead, you can live at that level. So there's many options, many options for the future. I don't believe anybody should be dictating to us what it ought to be. Well, because I'm concerned about this and about our liberties, our freedom. I'm starting an organization called the Freedom Restoration Foundation. And you can write to me right now an email. I've still got to change this. I just hadn't had time. Look, it's 3 o'clock in the morning almost. I'm doing this video. Email me at this address, halfispace@AOL.com. That's one of my oldest email addresses. And I don't use it for anything else now. So put freedom in the title. If you're interested in my Survival Tribe Network, and you check my older videos on that, put survival in the title. And I've got a couple of volunteers who are putting this, well, one in particular is now putting this in spreadsheets in Excel, so we can sort it and organize it, and that'll get us maybe. We do have the organization start. We've got links on we got a Facebook site, and we got a MeWe site, and we're looking into what to do with web. So we'll set up a website, but I can get the email set up prior to that, and I will when I just get a chance. I just got to sit down. Just a few minutes here, but there's always something. But there's a zillion little little things I need to get to. My life is incredibly busy, so it's sometimes it's hard to bring these videos to you. I struggle to get these things out because I have a very busy life, and it's been a little bit harder lately, and so it's a bit disheartening to see my channel membership dropping like a rock lately. So I guess maybe it's either the algorithms, or maybe it's just what I'm saying. Maybe people don't like it. So look, if there's something, if you don't like where I'm going, tell me so in the notes. Tell me so in the notes. Maybe I need to split this channel up. Maybe I need to do 2 or 3 channels. Just split the topics up. Have a channel that's just head on swivel news, and have a channel that's just gardening and worms. I know these 2 crowds don't too much like each other. My single best video is in the worms, but overall, the head on the swivel stuff outperforms that stuff. People don't even watch the gardening videos. I get so few viewers for it. I already think that's the most important stuff I put out there, like the wild edible videos. To me, those are the most important. Tell you how to really survive, and you don't even have to go buy stuff off the internet or off the other. Go out in the woods and eat. I do videos. I've done a lot of videos on that. I don't get people. Oh, Greg, all you do is promote, freeze-dried food. No, not at all. I do lots of videos on wild edibles. I got a ton of them on my channel. Now it's harder to search my channel. They changed how you search things, but they're there. I've done several of them. You can watch them. I encourage you to watch those videos. I got videos on growing your own food. I do recommend you go to. I got Tree Leaf Market link below. You can help my channel by clicking that link. You won't pay a cent more, and it helps me. You can buy seeds anywhere, but they got them as good as anyone, and they guarantee them. They tell you how to grow stuff, and you get microgreen seeds, which you can grow food in your own living room, as I've done. I got videos showing you how to do that, or in your garage or basement or whatever. And I'll be selling worms hopefully in the spring again. Get that going again. I'll do more worm videos. I was out pulling sled beds Sunday evening, and hopefully I can get some of that worked in the video. But it takes time to edit all that stuff. This takes time. It takes a lot of time to get this. I got tons of videos I'll probably never find time to edit, but that's just what. A lot of videos I do them and I don't get them edited, and then the story's too old. I just let them go. So there's a big challenge in all these things. It's a lot of work to do a YouTube channel, especially when you're trying to bring a lot of content, especially if your content is as diverse as mine is. It's a challenge. It's a very challenging, especially when you're a busy person. Some people say, "Oh, Greg, you make money off your channel. It's horrible." Because I'm actually hoping that one day this is how I'll make my living, is bringing you information, trying to help you. And I need to be able to transition. I need to build a business here to do that. And so this is an investment in my time to try to build a base here. But my base is getting shaky now. So I don't know. I'm beginning to really question this whole enterprise, this platform. The whole thing is just, when I'm watching my subscriber base drop a couple hundred people in just a few days, and my whole month, my net gain is 0. Yeah, actually negative for the whole month. It's the first time since I've had this channel that's happened. And I look back at my videos, they're fundamentally not different than what I've been putting out in the last umpteen months. So it's kind of puzzling to me as to why that is. Maybe it's just because we're in that time of the year, the season of elections, and the algorithms don't like you pointing things out, or maybe they don't like me telling you what I just told you. Because if you go back and let's see who the corporations are that are behind all this, this platform is owned by one of them. So YouTube's been a good platform for reaching out to people. I'll say that. But it's not a freedom of speech platform. They own it. And so you got to abide by the rules on there. I'm just trying to tell you guys how to stay alert, because it's always been, I always told you to keep your eyes wide open, head on a swivel, and I bring you content to help you do that. And it's always been a proposition of this channel to help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. Now maybe I need to take that to another platform somewhere else. And whatever's here left on this platform, I might ought to split it in 2 or 3 different ways. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. So that I know you watched this far, just tell me this. Say, Greg, I want to see the world living in freedom. It looks like an I. I want to see the world living free. Just say that. Say, I want to see the world living free. And I know you watched it this far. That'll be plain for me to see. All right, my friends. Those of you who stayed on, I really appreciate it. I got great followers. I mean, most of my subscribers are, I got a core group that's with me no matter what. They appreciate what I put out. But there's a lot of people out there that really don't get me yet. They don't understand me. They watch 2 or 3 videos and they make snap judgments. And sometimes they'll just look at a video's title. And, it's all about this. And they'll make all kinds of comments about the video and don't even watch it. Especially when I post it up on social media channels and other places. I really hammered in. And it's for people that don't know me. They haven't been watching my channel. I don't get hammered as bad by people that are subscribed, because most of y'all know who I am, what I'm about. Then there's always a few that have only watched 2 or 3 videos and they come in and go, what? But then again, there's that division too between gardeners and worm farming interested people and the prepper interested people. That's really 2 separate crowds. There's some overlap and some intersection, but it's not 1-to-1. All the channels on YouTube that talk about how to build a YouTube channel say, pick one very narrow interest and focus on that solely. I started to do that. I was going to do just urban gardening. That was the original ambition of this channel. If you see my introductory video, that's what I say. I just hadn't changed it. But a couple people knew, Greg, you did power grid defense conferences. You need to tell us about the power grid. Well, I did. And then all the prepping stuff came out. That power grid video was the first one that took off on my channel. It's the one that got me monetized. That video I didn't make much out of it because it done flattened out by the time I got my monetization applied. But then the worm farming video took over from there and did the lion's share of the work. So that was kind of funny, kind of interesting. But so therefore, I just kind of fell into having a bicameral type channel, which is not ideal for the platform, but it is what it is. I just got to figure out where to go going forward, because something's not working. If y'all know what that something is, tell me. Something is awry. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's the time. Maybe it's the platform. Maybe once all these elections damp out and that's not part of it anymore, it'll return to normal. And maybe I'll be growing like crazy again. I watch Raw just growing gangbusters. I have never had a month like this one on this channel, on this platform. This has been my worst single month since I started a YouTube channel. This month, I've been going, and so I've been working my tail off. I've been bringing a lot of content, and as you see, it don't come easy. I put out a lot of content, and when you work hard like that, and you see it, you know, in the earlier days I wasn't working as hard, and my channel was going, vroom. I'm working much harder now, and I'm going, vroom. So, what is this? What is this? Worked a little bit, boom. Work hard, chump. You know, I don't know. Not to complain too much. Like I said, this platform's been good in a lot of ways, but I'm just, you know, maybe it wants me to go. Maybe that's what it's trying to tell me. It wants me to change. But I am who I am. I may have to change where I be me. I don't know. I got a lot of thinking to do here. A lot of thinking. Some of you go, yeah, we like you out here. We don't like this stuff. I imagine you're the ones that are unsubscribing, or probably already have. I don't think anybody that thinks that's watching me at this point. Anywho, everyone, sorry to rant. I'm just, you know, this month has been a rough month for me in many ways, personal level and everything going on in the world, and just watching my channel not do what I expected by a long shot. It's just, you know, you got to wonder, when your membership starts dropping, how long is it going to happen? Is it going to stop, or is this the permanent feature? I'm going to go to zero? I don't think I'm going to go to zero. I got too many followers that just love me to death, and several tell me I can't get rid of them for anything. I love that. I love each of you. Anybody that's watching me this far, you got to be awesome. So I'll figure out a way through this. I like serving. Look, we're family. I love our live sessions, but you know, every time I do a live session, I lose subscribers. For some reason, there are just a lot of people that don't like that. I mean, they're not in there talking with us, obviously. So I don't know. Hopefully I can get my equipment doing better, get better videos. That might be part of it, because live sessions are looking kind of crappy. So maybe I can get all that up. I've been trying to work on it. It costs a little money. Oh, yeah, that money thing, yeah. I have been buying some equipment a little bit. I got to learn how to use some of it. Like the thing I walk with the phone, the camera. I bought it, I charged it up, and I hadn't had time to read the manual. All these things take time. I got a lot of stuff that it just takes time. It's just a minute. Well, it's just a minute here, a minute there, a minute here, a minute there. It's like those little $5 items you get to the grocery store, and you think you want to spend $40, and you walk the counter and it's $200. That's what it's like. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I got to get to bed. I got to get up in a couple hours and go to work. My day job. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, people. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.